Hello students, in today's video I am going to discuss rest of the properties of definite integration. Some of the properties already I have explained in my previous video. Link of this video is given in description box. So let me discuss more properties of definite integration which will certainly help us to calculate, to find out definite integration of certain problems. The last property that I have discussed in previous video was integration for the limit 0 to a fx dx can also be written as limit the same 0 to a f a minus x dx. Now using the same property, if the limit is from a to b of the function fx dx, then its integration can also be written as with the same limit, that is a to b, and fx can be changed into f a plus b minus x dx. This is not different property. This is one of the same property we have discussed in the previous video. So this can also be used in this way. For example, in this problem, limit is not from 0 to a, it is a to b. But this 5 shows that we should use this property over here, because if we add the two, that is a and b, we are getting 5, and after applying this property we can do this problem simply. So let me explain how to do. Is equal to 1 to 4 square root of, everywhere will change this x by a plus b minus x. So a plus b minus x means 4 plus 1 minus x upon, same in the denominator, 5 minus x. X means again we need to write it as 4 minus 1 plus x, because we need to change 4 plus 1 minus x. So because of this minus sign, all the signs will get changed, plus x again written as 4 plus 1 minus x. So further we can write it as 1 to 4 5 minus x square root of it upon, here we are left only with root x, plus, and here we are having 5 minus x. As I told you, we should name the integrand in starting as I. So this I is going with us. Now adding the two results, number 1 and number 2. Steps are very same as we were following in the property where we have used 0 to a. So now if we add the two, we'll get 2i to LHS, and after addition the limit will remain same, 1 to 4, and here in 1 we are having root x upon square root of 5 minus x plus root x, and in second we are having square root of 5 minus x upon the same denominator, having the same denominator. So we can write it as root x upon square root of 5 minus x plus root x plus square root of 5 minus x upon square root of x plus square root of 5 minus x. You should be careful about one thing, that these properties either 0 to or a to b, a plus b minus x should be used in the case where we find that the denominator does not get changed after applying this property. The reason is that, so that after taking LCM we can simplify the question in an easier way. So now if we apply the same, means taking LCM of these two, so clearly we will be left with only 1 into dx. Why? Because it is root x plus root 5 minus x, which is same as the denominator, so both get cancelled. So the I that we are getting with us, let me write 2i first of all. So now the integration of 1 is x, applying the limit 1 to 4, so clearly you are having 4 minus 1. Okay, so you are getting 3 over here. So what is I? The value of I that we are getting is 3 upon 2 simply. So here is the next property in front of you. It is when the limit is from a to b for integration of the function fx dx, it can be written as limit a to c fx dx plus c to b fx dx, where this c is in between a and b, means a is less than c and less than b. For example, let me write, suppose we are having limit is from 1 to 4 of a function fx dx, then it can be written as 1 to 2 fx dx plus 2 to 3 fx dx plus 3 to 4 fx dx. So we can break the limits into small chunks like I have done over here. So this can be done in 2 steps, in 3 steps, in 4 steps, whatsoever steps we require. So again, by using this property, there will be no change in the value of integrand. Let me take example to illustrate this property. Here is one problem in front of you which can be simplified by using the above property. So you know very well how to define modulus function. Let me write the definition of this given modulus function. You know very well that 3 minus 2x modulus can be written in 2 ways. Number 1, when x is less than 3 upon 2, the value of modulus will be minus 3 minus 2x, modulus sign will vanish, and another value is when x is greater than or equal to 3 upon 2. So here we are getting 3 minus 2x. So the value will be out of the modulus sign. Now there are two values. One is when x is less than 3 upon 2. Other is when x is greater than or equal to 3 upon 2. The limit given to us is 0 to 3. So clearly 3 upon 2 lies between 0 to 3. So we need to break this function in 2 parts. First part, when x is less than 3 upon 2, then value of function will be, I can write this as I. Let me name it as I over here also. So I is equal to, first limit is 0 to 3 upon 2. 0 to 3 upon 2 means when x is less than 3 upon 2. So the value of function, that is modulus 3 minus 2x, is minus 3 minus 2x. This is one part. Plus another part when x is greater than equal to 3 upon 2. So the next limit is 3 upon 2 to 3, the final upper limit which is given in the question. And for this part, the value of modulus 3 minus 2x is 3 minus 2x simply. So now we need to just integrate the two functions and apply the limits. So let me do it. Minus, taking common, so we are left with 3 minus x square after integration. So it is, apply the limit 0 to 3 upon 2. Plus, next part is again 3x minus x square, applying the limits 3 upon 2 to 3. Now, using the limits, we are getting minus, using upper limit, we are getting 9 upon 2 minus 9 upon 4. This is upper limit. Minus, when we will apply lower limit, it will be simply 0. Plus, again applying the upper limit and lower limit. So upper limit gives us 9 minus 9. And lower limit gives us 9 upon 2 minus 9 upon 4. Further simplifying this thing. So what we are getting? Minus 9 upon 4 from here we are getting, and from here again we are getting minus 9 upon 4. So the final answer that we are getting is minus 9 upon 2. Here is one more property. Here the limit is from minus a to a fx dx. It can be written in two ways. Either its result may be 0 or its result may be twice of integration limit 0 to a. Here the limit is minus a to a, but when we are writing it after integration, we are getting twice of 0 to a fx dx. These two results depend upon this function fx. If this function fx is an odd function, then the result of this property can be written directly as 0. And when the function fx is an even function, then the value of this integrand will be twice of 0 to a fx dx. Let me recall what is odd function, what is even function first of all. So a function fx is called odd function when f of minus x is equals to minus fx. So in this case we call the function as odd function. For example, let me take function x cube. So clearly if I replace this x with minus x and taking its power, this is clearly minus x cube. Here I am giving this as name fx. Clearly this is f minus x. So minus x cube is minus fx. So this is called odd function. One more example you can take, like if fx is equal to sin x, then what is f minus x? F minus x is sine of minus x, and you know very well sine minus theta is minus sine theta. So it is minus sine x, and this can be written as minus fx. So this is also odd function. So if the function is odd, so when the limit is changing from minus a to a, we need to find out whether the function is odd or even. So you understood what is odd? Let me explain even function. Even function, for example, let me have fx is equal to x power 4 plus x square. So in this case, if I find out f minus x, it is minus x power 4 plus minus x square. So after simplifying powers, we are getting x power 4 plus x square, which is nothing but simply fx. So as I have written that when f minus x is equal to fx, it is called even function. One more example of even function you can take, fx is equal to cos x, because cos minus x is plus cos x, which will remain again fx. So if the function is odd, then integration of from limit minus a to a fx dx can be written as clearly 0. Just we need to mention that fx is an odd function, and directly we can write the result as 0. And when the function is even, then we need to write minus a to a fx dx as twice of 0 to a fx dx. And after this, maybe we need to apply again the rule of 0 to a, that is changing x into a minus x, and then we can go further. So these are the results when the function is odd or even. So when we need to check this property, when the limit is from minus a to a. To illustrate this property, let me take one example in front of you. In this problem, the limit is from minus a to a type, minus 1 to 1. So first of all, we need to check whether the function is even or odd. And as I have just explained, that we will change x into minus x. So changing x into minus x. What are we getting? Sine power 5 minus x into cos power 4 minus x. So you know very well that sine power 5 minus x is minus sine power 5x, and here it is cos power 4x. Because of even power, it will remain always positive, so that's why it is. So what are we getting? If this is fx, then we are getting minus fx. So clearly the function is odd. So we'll write here as f of minus x is equal to minus fx, that is implies fx is odd. So therefore the value of I is 0. So there is nothing to do. Clearly, directly we can write the result as 0. Look at this problem. Here again the limit is of the type minus a to a. So first step is to check whether the function is even or odd. Clearly sine square x, power of sine is even. So therefore it is even function. So we'll write as sine square x is an even function. So therefore I, let me name it as I can be written as twice of 0 to pi by 2. Do not forget to change the limit. Limit from minus a to a converted into 0 to a. So it is sine square x dx. Now as I told you, if required we'll use the property of 0 to a again. So here let me use the property. Let me write the property first. F of x dx, limit is from 0 to a, can be written as 0 to a f a minus x dx. So if we use this property, we are getting sine square pi upon 2 minus x dx. Adding the two results, number 1 this result and number 2, after simplifying this thing, we are getting twice of integration of cos square x dx. Let me name this as 2. So adding 1 and 2. Adding 1 and 2. Now the question will proceed as just we have done in the previous video. So 2i is twice of, inside we will be left with cos square x plus sine square x dx. What is cos square x plus sine square x? It is 1. So we are simply getting 1 to dx and limit is from 0 to pi by 2 everywhere. So now calculating integration and applying the limits. So I is equal to, cancelling 2 from both sides, we are getting x, limit is from 0 to pi by 2. So the answer that we are getting is pi by 2 for the given problem. So if you observe that observation of limit is very important in these properties, that whether the limit is from a to b or 0 to a or minus a to a. So by observing just the limits, we can take right decision that which property we should use. This is 7th property is in front of you. According to this property, we are having the limits from 0 to 2a. Like if we are having 0 to pi means we are having 2 into pi by 2. Okay. Similarly 0 to 4 means we are having 2 into 2. So if this is of this form, that is 0 to 2a, fx dx can be written as the addition of 0 to a fx dx and 0 to a f 2a minus x dx. Again, this can be written in two ways. Number 1, if f 2a minus x is equal to fx. If we calculate f 2a minus x and its value becomes equal to fx, then this result 0 to 2a fx can be written as twice of limit from 0 to a fx dx. This is one of the result. Second one, what may happen? The value of f 2a minus x is minus fx. So if this happen, then the value of 0 to 2a fx dx directly can be written as 0. Why this is so? Because when f 2a minus x is fx, then 0 to a fx dx plus 0 to a fx dx is twice of 0 to a fx dx. And when f 2a minus x is minus fx, then these two will be with same values and opposite signs. So we'll get cancelled and we are left with the result as 0. So let me illustrate this property. Use of this property in the following examples. Here I am going to explain a very important question of this topic. This is 0 to pi by 2 log sin x dx. The limit is from 0 to a. So clearly, as I told you, when we are observing 0 to a, we should use a minus x property. Means fx can be written as f a minus x. So using the property, I is equal to this can be written as, here we can write, which is equal to 0 to pi by 2 log sine pi by 2 minus x dx. We can write property over here using fx dx is equals to, limit is from 0 to a and it is 0 to a f a minus x dx. So keeping the limit same, 0 to pi by 2, we changed x as a minus x, that is pi by 2 minus x. Now we know very well that sine 90 minus theta is cos theta. So this can further written as 0 pi by 2 log cos x dx. If you remember, next step of it is to add first and second. From the function we have started and the function that we are getting after applying a minus x property. So adding, we are getting 2i is equal to 0 to pi by 2. One is log sin x and another is log cos x and dx it is. Now log property, you know very well, it is log m plus log n can be written as log m into n. So 2i is equal to 0 to pi by 2 log sin x into cos x dx. Now when we are having sin x into cos x, then we know if we get 2 over here, it will be sin 2x. So if we are multiplying by 2, then we need to divide it by 2 as well. So what are we getting? 2i is equal to 0 to pi by 2 log sin 2x upon 2. Again one property is in front of us of log, which is log m upon n, that is log m minus log n. So this can be further written as 0 to pi by 2 log sin 2x minus log 2 dx. Segregating the two by using the fourth property, that log 0 to any of the limit a to b, fx plus gx can be written as with the same limits as fx and plus with the same limits as gx. So it can be written into two parts, 0 to pi by 2 log sin 2x dx is the one part and another part is 0 to pi by 2 log 2 dx. Let me name this as I1 and this as I2 and the whole is equal to 2i. Let us take one by one. So here let me take I1 first. I1 is 0 to pi by 2 log sin 2x. Now to get rid of this 2x, let me substitute 2x as t. So we are getting dx is equal to dt, 2dx is equal to dt, or you can say dx is equal to dt upon 2. Changing the limits as well. So when x is equal to 0, clearly t will be 0. X is equal to 0 implies t is equal to 0 and x is equals to pi by 2. X is equal to pi by 2 implies t is equal to pi. So the new limit that we are getting is 0 to pi and I1 turns to 0 to pi log sin t dt upon 2. Let me take this 2 over here because dx is dt upon 2. Now using the property number 1, that we can change the variable. Our variable in which the question is going on is x. So let me write this as x over here. So it is 1 upon 2 0 to pi log sine x dx. We know that there is no change in the value of definite integration when we change the variable. Okay. Now the limit is 0 to pi, and this pi can be considered as 2 into pi upon 2, that is 2a. So the last property says 0 to 2a is there. We are having the limit, then fx dx can be written as, let me write the property, integration 0 to 2a fx dx is equal to 0 to a fx dx plus 0 to a f 2a minus x dx. And here again, if 2a minus x is plus fx, then it is twice of 0 to a fx dx. And if f 2a minus x is equal to minus fx, then its value is 0. So let us find out that log sin x is, after applying this property, then whether f2a minus x is equal to fx dx or equal to minus fx dx. So applying this property, let us check. Log sin pi minus x, we are using 2a minus x. Okay, so what are we getting? Sine 180 minus theta is in second quadrant, and in second quadrant sine is positive. So we are getting log sine x again. So what are we getting? It means, it implies 0 to a f 2a minus x is equals to, in fact we should write only f 2a minus x. There is no need to take integration sign and limit. So we are getting f 2a minus x is fx. So therefore we are getting I1 is equal to twice of, limit is from 0 to a means pi by 2, and we are getting twice of it. From here 1 upon 2 is already here. So let me write this 1 upon 2 into twice of 0 to a fx dx, and fx dx is log sin x dx. To get cancelled, this is I1. So we are getting I1 is equal to 0 to pi upon 2 log sin x dx, which is nothing but simply the function which was given to us in the starting. So this is the function 0 to pi by 2 log sin x dx. So this can be written simply as I. So we are getting I1 is equals to I over here. Okay. Now let me take second part of it, that is I2. I2 is 0 to pi by 2 log 2 dx. What is log 2? Log 2 is the constant term. So will be out easily. So let me take I2. I2 is equal to integration 0 to pi by 2, taking log 2 outside being constant, and we are left only with 1 into dx, which gives us log 2 into x, and using the limits 0 to pi by 2. What are we getting? We are getting pi by 2 log 2. This is the value of I2. Now let us put all these values over here in I. Over here. So we are getting 2i is equal to I1 is equal to I, we have proved, and I2 already we have calculated. So let us put these values over here. So we are getting 2i is equal to I minus pi upon 2 log 2. Taking this I to left hand side, so we are left with I is equal to minus pi upon 2 log 2, which is the solution of the given problem. So here in this question we have used almost all the properties. So this is one of the very important question, and you should do it once again so that you will be able to simplify this question very easily. Let me explain all the steps again to you. First of all, as we are observing the limit is from 0 to a type, so we will use the property of a minus x, changing x into a minus x. After getting that and adding, we are getting in this way. So segregating the two, we are getting two parts, I1 and I2. I2 is very simple and easily can be calculated. In I1 part, we need to substitute 2x as t and changing dx into dt. And after this, we are getting the limit as 0 to pi, which gives us the sense of 0 to a. So we are using the property 0 to 2a. So we are using the property of 0 to 2a, and here we are getting that f2a minus x is equal to fx. So which gives us the value as twice of 0 to a fx. Okay, now simplifying this thing, we are getting I1 as I. Now putting the two values of I1 and I2 in the basic function in the step where we are getting 2i, and after that we are getting the result as minus pi by 2 log 2. So this is all about the properties of definite integration.